Hey guys, it's Kian from Calo Project today. From here, this is episode 1, the start of the new series. So those Q&As that I was talking about with content creators and cosplayers, this is the beginning. So for today, we got Mangel Phantom cosplay, and we're gonna do the Q&A, starting right now. Alright, so this is what it is. So here we go, we got Jeremy. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I run a cosplay page by the name of Mangel Phantom. These days I do mostly YouTube videos. You might have seen me around. If not, then see me around.
Alright, so yeah, he's actually been doing this stuff for quite some time. Recently he's really been pushing towards YouTube and just getting onto all the other social media. So we'll talk about Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, which we mentioned just before. So Jeremy has actually done a lot of cosplays, 10 years roughly, is that what we're looking at?
I started 2007, so this will be my 11th year? 11th year? Yeah,
11th year.
10 years, good.
So yeah, he's actually going for quite some time now. And you do a lot of competitions as well. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, so back in 2011, I think it's my first big competition I wanted to do. So that was something called the Madman National Cosplay Championships. That's been running since 2009. So I saw that run for a few years, 2009, 2010. I thought, let's give it a go 2011. So yeah, I gave it a go there with a good friend of mine at the time. And yeah, I got hooked on it. So I've done it in 2011, 2012, and I did a few other years as well. So we were fortunate enough to make it through the Queensland round each time, so we won that. And the winner of each state round gets to go through to the finals in Melbourne at the end of the year. Unfortunately, never won those, but no, we had good fun doing the rounds themselves and made some good costumes and good experience, yeah.
And just to check, this was with Triple X Puffy, or aka Bogan Lolly as well, right? She's a pretty big cosplayer, Queenslander like yourself, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So Bogan Lolly is a new take now. XX Puffy was the old one. So we were good partners for a few years. Last 3 years, I think, we did the Queensland round together. So we got on really well, and we worked really well as a team. So we managed to win the Queensland rounds twice. Became second one year, but we flew down to Melbourne to compete again, and we were fortunate enough to win that one. And yeah, in the previous 2 years, I entered with a few different friends. They don't cosplay as much these days, but no, they're still around. But we still get along well, and they're not as competitive as me, I guess. So,
well, you know, you kind of get, all kinds of different people. Some do it just for fun occasionally, some do it try to push it more professionally. But yeah, like, obviously, if you're doing it for 10 years, I know a lot of people in the community have known you for quite a bit. Personally, for myself, being a Melburnian, to know a Queenslander, that kind of speaks for itself. But yeah, like, even your presence is quite known here, and I think that's achievement in itself. A lot of people don't usually get it, especially within Australia. I think it's really cool where we do get that sense of community, where a lot of people bind together, they make great friends and everything, and you know what, ultimately, that's what conventions are for. So like, what kind of cool experiences have you got? Like, obviously you've got some friends and everything, but what else has been like good ever since you started this journey and all that sort of stuff?
Good question. First of all, it's flattering that you say people know me, because I just know a few people around the place, but yeah. Look, best experience would probably be to the people who I don't know or haven't met before. I'd say the best experience I probably would have had was a time that I did enter a competition one time, back in 2014, 2015 was, I think.
Wow,
it was now.
taking us back.
A little while back. So that was a round of Queensland's national competition that I was fortunate enough to win with Bogan Lolly at the time. And there was this Adventure Time cosplay that we saw there, who was a bit of a younger cosplayer we've never seen before. And we just love Adventure Time. So we went up to them and said, look, you've got an amazing costume, this is great. So we took a photo with them, and it was a great time. And a few years later, they obviously leveled up their cosplay skills, and we were friends on Facebook, and at the time they just tagged us in that photo that we took a few years ago, and they said, these are the 2 people who inspired me to do cosplay, and they're the reason why I still love doing it today. I was so fortunate that they managed to talk to me that day. I was so flattered and thrilled, and just to get that kind of feedback from people where we didn't feel like we were doing anything too special or particular at the time, but obviously these very small things, they made a really big difference to some people, and just receiving that kind of feedback from just random strangers you meet. It's a really heartwarming thing to hear. So
Well, Jeremy, on the topic of inspiring or being inspirational, I definitely understand where you're coming from because even as a fellow cosplayer myself, I've always really loved the work that you've done. I've always followed the stuff, and you know what? I feel that going back on the sense of community, it's this inspiration, it's this sharing knowledge and having fun together. That's what it's really all about, and that's a perfect example of it.
Yeah.
So like, good on you. Just keep doing what you've been doing. Like that's all I'll say. But the push towards YouTube. Now that was a recent thing. Like, what made you want to push it forward? Like, you've been doing really, really good with your cosplays. You've been entering the massive competitions like Madman and everything.
Yeah.
So what is your thought process in regards to YouTubing and doing the videos?
It's funny you should ask that because I guess the reason behind that was mostly just to give it a try because I've been doing nothing but competition after competition for the last few years, and I guess for the last year in particular, I found the only 2 conventions I went to, it was just for the purpose of the competition. Mm-hmm. So we went there for maybe a day, but we were so stressed about the competition the next day we didn't end up enjoying it too much. And all we found was we go there, do the competition, we win, cool. If not, then whatever. But we didn't get the chance to really talk to people. We didn't really get a chance to look around the con as much. And like you said, that sense of community, or that sense of just getting to socialise and talk to people and have fun with people. I definitely know a long time ago, that was the main reason I went to conventions. But I guess the focus for me in the last few years has been just do competition, see if we can win, see how far I can push myself, really. It's not to say I don't enjoy them. I do enjoy the challenge. I do enjoy the feelings that you get from being up on stage and just pushing yourself.
Relate, yeah.
It's scary, but it's good. It's good to just challenge yourself and push yourself out there. But I guess this year in particular, end of last year, I decided to make a video just for the fun of it, and I really enjoyed the feedback from it from people, and I really enjoyed the process of making it. So started this year, I decided, look, I want to just take a step back from the competitions, just see if I can do something different, just get that sense of community again. And so this year I've been to 2 conventions already, and I've spent nearly all of my time just talking to people and getting to know people and hanging out with everybody again, and just making a competition, making a costume just for the fun of it rather than for a particular purpose, like
Exactly.
winning a competition. So just refocusing that. This year so far has been really enjoyable for me in terms of just going to conventions and so on. I'm really enjoying the YouTube side of things. I get lots of people just
They're real funny.
Thank you.
They're real funny. Like,
I'll do my best.
I also look at the comments like after I read them, and like it's full of just praise and things that you can relate. Like a lot of the stuff he does is typical scenarios or typical things that a lot of cosplayers think about, but sometimes not even said. So just take a look. I will link them later as well, but yeah, it's just something that I feel like we kind of lack in the community, and it gives us a sense of pride that in Australia we do have that sort of talent as well, and Jeremy's really been knocking it. Now, on that, like, is there people that you draw inspirations or that you learn from, that, or even like that you mirror? Could be, a cosplayer, could be other content creators, or even celebrities. Is there some sort of, something that you mirror or you try to strive to be?
Good question. I think when I first started out, there were a few people I looked up to. I guess mostly for the way that they made their costumes, the detail they put into it, anybody who did competitions and so on and so forth. Unfortunately, those kinds of people, they lost that sense of community, I think, that comes along with getting very serious with doing competitions and, I guess, making a career out of costumes itself.
But we can learn, all kinds of things though, yeah?
Definitely. So I definitely can say, drawing inspiration from these talented people really helps me push my own boundaries forward, so I can strive to become better and prove myself. But in terms of, especially where it comes to nowadays, where I think a lot of people want to, become popular or become famous or make money out of it, that sense of relatability or that sense of community, I think, really does get a bit fuzzy, because it becomes a bit too serious, and it does lose that aspect of fun. And something I have experienced over the last few years when you do take it a bit seriously. So with YouTube in particular, most people do convention vlogs, they like to do tutorials. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm that much of a talented person that I can make a full tutorial about something, because if you know me, I use a lot of hot glue, and a lot of people say don't use hot glue at all. So,
But like to go back with that, I do feel that even though you're saying that, with that case, you are shedding a lot of light and more fun aspect of the convention. Kind of bring it back to circle, bring it back to community, bring it back to what is it? Cosplay is, seriously, it's just costume play. You know, it's supposed to be just fun. And I think that decision you're consciously making, it's actually, it's perfect. It goes for what it is, and it might be that missing element, or more accurately, it's more that part where we're just kind of tipping onto the serious part a little bit too much, and we're tipping it into the good direction, so to speak. But yeah, it's good to have all those varieties. I definitely agree, and learn a lot from each other.
Yeah, no, like definitely. That's the part I guess I want to focus on in my videos, rather than having something that's instruction based where you learn something, but something that people can watch and say, I suffer through the same things. I'm glad someone else can suffer through it too, so I don't feel so alone. And it can kind of bring us together, these small things, I guess, that make us cosplayers. So,
well, talk about suffering. I'm going to make you suffer. We'll sort of suffer for a bit. Now, if you can remember, what was like your first costume, or can we have a little bit of peek?
Yeah, look. Okay, this one you can have a look at here. The very, very first costume I don't.
Oh wow!
I've got a physical copy of it, but I don't have a digital copy. But the second one I do have.
Okay.
I jumped on board the Death Note train in 2008.
Oh, Death Note cons!
Yeah,
Death Note everywhere.
That was fun, but it was terrifying when I look back at it. So this is one of the times. This is probably my second costume, and I just
you love it.
Oh, it was fun at the time, but you look at it now and just think, oh my god, why? What have I done? Look, that was a fun con because I did get to hang out with my best friend at the time. We met a whole bunch of people, and as socially awkward as I was at the time, it was still a lot of fun to go to a convention as a young 16-year-old. But yeah, that's my first costume then, and it's good to, no matter how bad your costume is, always keep photos of it.
Yeah.
Because you'll always go back and look at it and say, I did this once upon a time, I'm glad I've come this far to where I am now.
Well, my philosophy of that is, with the photos and the costumes or props, whatever it is you do, I think it's very important to just keep them. Just keep a copy of them, even though you feel like it's bad. But don't forget, you come from your roots, and if that's a sentimental person, go back and have a laugh with your mates. Like, it's the best thing ever.
It's good. It's good. Big costumes in particular, you make big armor sets or big outlandish costumes. You obviously don't have storage space for those kinds of things.
Yeah. So, like, tell me, I don't know, what's your biggest, most proudest? Knock 'em dead. Like, show me. What do we have
big
here?
Big costume. Okay.
What do we have here? Okay.
The biggest. Okay. Best way to put this is last few competitions we did, we said, first ones get too serious. Let's try to do something ridiculous. Let's try to do something.
How ridiculous we're getting.
Okay, so it started off with Resident Evil. Instead of people make elaborate dresses, they make really fancy armor sets. They make really detailed, really intricate things with lots of detail in them. So we thought, look, we've got a pair of stilts in the back room. Let's see if we can just incorporate it into a costume. So Bogan Volley and myself at the time, we thought, we're playing Resident Evil right now. Let's see if we can do one of the creatures. So we packed a whole bunch of foam mats.
Oh wow, this looks amazing.
Yeah, just look at the picture.
This looks amazing. Yeah.
So we put that on two stilts. Thankfully, I took to wearing those stilts quite naturally, so I could wear those quite easily. It was still a very serious skit, but that's the point in time which we thought, this is a lot of fun just making something. We don't have to focus so much on the detail, we just focus more on the costume itself and the skit, which was really fun to perform. And if we look at this next picture here, next thing we made was a big radio with big hands.
I remember this one. Yeah.
So that was fun to bring down, and that was one of the most fun times I've had a con for a very long time, even though that weekend was just completely focused on the competition itself. We said, look, it's a ridiculous costume, we don't expect to win anything, just go and have fun, and the crowd loved it, and it's a shame we had to take that apart, but we keep little portions of it. So
I really like how in these photos and these two examples you've shown, they're really just outlandish shapes, and it's not humanly normal shapes like we usually go with cosplay. Like, that must have been a challenge in itself, just to try to imagine how you're going to fit that on your body, and of course logistics, moving around and sweating, and I can totally relate. Well, look, Jeremy, like, it's been great so far. Thanks for sharing everything so far. There's going to be a lot more content that he's posting, and it's going to be coming from here onwards, and we're actually working on it this weekend. So
keep an eye out for it.
Keep an eye on it. Yeah. So look, I'm going to wrap it up very, very shortly, but I'm pretty sure there's a couple fresh cosplayers or just people who just want to get back on the bandwagon or just need that little kick of inspiration. Like, pass us some final words of advice or what gets you going. Like, there's got to be this tough nights where you came back from work, you're broke, you're hungry, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, but you just want to finish it. What do you do?
It's a very good question again. Look, I figured out just maybe last year that as I got older, I thought cosplay was something that I had to stop at some stage because I needed a career, I needed to earn money, and I couldn't really afford to keep doing these kinds of things. But it was something that I really, really, really liked to do, and I was very reluctant to let it go. So I kind of came to the understanding that, look, it doesn't matter how old you get, it doesn't matter how bad you think that you are at making costumes, as long as you're still enjoying it, as long as you still have a passion to keep making things, you have a lot of fun just going to conventions to just meet people, there's no reason that you should say, I need to stop going, or I shouldn't spend any more money on this. I think if there's something that you're passionate about, it's a hobby, whether it be cosplay, whether it be model cars, whether it be collecting comic books, as long as it's something you love, I don't think that anybody should say that you need to stop what you're doing if you still love it. Because I think the moment that you lose that point in time where you stop dedicating yourself to what you're passionate about, it's just a very boring life, really. So,
All right. So just to finalize and sum it up in one line, what would you say?
Keep working hard towards the things you love, because as long as you keep doing that, you're never going to have a bad day in your life.
There we go. So guys, thanks for joining. So Ken from Calo Project and
Jeremy from Mangle Phantom Cosplay.
thanks guys. Till next time. See ya. Boy, alright, so yeah, that's episode 1. Good exciting times. How do you feel doing that actually?
Oh, it's not bad. You've found a really nice place out here.
I'm blessed.
Yeah, it's really nice. Look, that was really fun. I haven't actually done an interview like that before, so it was nice. You're very good at this.
Oh, thank you.
I hope to see more of this in the future. So,
well guys, there is going to be more coming, so I do have a couple people lined up. So we're talking cosplayers, we're talking about sculptors, we're talking about other crafters like myself. Stay tuned. So more content to come. Calo Project once again. See ya. That's it.
yay!